Give me time to realize I jive. Let me love again. I've had days I don't remember what he says. Won't you have me still? See. Do you really want to jive me? Do you really want to jive tonight? Do you really want to jive with me? Do you really want to make me jive? Let's go. Hey, what's going on there? Welcome back, everybody. Once again, episode 1994. What is it? 94. Jive Talking with Shane Diablo, by God, where we get down to the meat and potatoes of each and every week on news stories and fun stories that I think are fun, if you're new here. On a side note here, I have a sparkling lemon water, and I have a purple Nurple. It is some kind of energy drink, grape energy drink, and they are absolutely addictive. I love them. It says right here, high performance and an energy drink. So we'll find out if I have a high performance on this episode. But what I'm telling you is these two are ice cold and they're sitting right here next to me. And one of these will end up on the fucking floor. I'm telling you right now, it's going to end up on the laptop. It's going to end up on the floor. I'm going to try not to do that, but we're going to get into it. I welcome you one and all. And you know what? Oh yeah, we did get your comments. I was just about to say I didn't bring up the comments, but the most important part of this Horse and Pony show is your comments at the end of the episode. If you're feeling like you want to hang, you want to chill, you want to be part of the comment section with all those fine folks, check this out on the YouTube channel. Let's get into it. I had to see what this was about. You know, Culture Club, Boy George. Don't lie and say you didn't like the song, Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? And don't lie that you made the joke every time you heard it. Yes, I do want to hurt you, Boy George. Because, you know, I'm getting into the hard rock, the Quiet Riot, the this, the that, the Twisted Sister, and everything else. My sister liked Culture Club. I secretly liked Culture Club. At least that song. I don't know that they had a whole lot of hits, Karma Chameleon and stuff. But I like Do You Really Want to Hurt Me? I'm sorry. Apparently Boy George went to a Napalm Death concert, so I wanted to find out exactly what that was. That's the top breaking story here. Culture Club's Boy George attends Napalm Death concert in Australia. My ears are still ringing. And rightfully so. If you get in front of Barney Greenway, listen here, baby girl, you're gonna have some hurting ears. Glamour icon Boy George, of one of the biggest global acts of the 80s, new wave pop legends Culture Club, is apparently a fan of British grindcore pioneers Napalm Death. Even gets better if he's a huge fan. The 62-year-old singer, whose real name, and you don't give away the real names, George Allen O'Dowd. In 50 years, that's the first time I've ever knew that was his name. Can we go back to Boy George now? Boy George took to his Twitter on Wednesday, September 13th to share a short video of Napalm Death's September 12th concert. Oh, we're looking into this. At the Triffid in Brisbane, Australia. And he wrote in his accompanying message, saw the Noise Monsters at Official ND last night, and me ears are still ringing. Loved all of their stuff. Napalm Death frontman Barney had to say, totally tight band. No other way of saying it, LOL. Hey Barney, see you at the coffee counter. Comment on of the night, shut up you fresh-faced fucker. Boy George is currently celebrating Culture Club's 4+ decades with the Greatest Hits tour of Australia. The musician, whose flamboyant dresses and heavy makeup created a disarmingly androgynous appearance that was a sensation on early MTV. is joined by guitarist Roy Hay and bassist Mike Craig as they perform favorites from across their back catalog. They had like 2 hits, right? 3 hits that you'd want to go sit and listen to in concert, right? The tour kicked off on September 5th at Perth RAC Arena. That's not a bad arena name, RAC. But that's in Australia. That's why it's not named the Quiznos Centre. Before shows at Sydney's Kudo Bank Arena. Yep. Kudos Bank Arena. Yep. You fucked it, Melbourne. And Melbourne's Rod Laver Arena on September 8th and September 9th, respectively. The tour continued with a short at Adelaide Entertainment Centre on September 11th, before wrapping up on September 14th at Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Napalm Death is a British-American extreme metal band whom Shane loves very deeply. Band formed in Meridian, West Midlands, England, 1981. While none of its original members remain in the group, the lineup of vocalist Barney Greenway, bassist Shane Embry, and drummer Danny Herrera has remained consistent for most of the band's career. Yeah, because Barney wasn't there in the early days, and I thought Shane was there the whole time, though. Shane Embry, I thought he was the only surviving member, right? Or original? Am I wrong? Napalm Death is credited as pioneers of the grindcore genre by incorporating elements of hardcore punk and death metal using a noise-filled sound that uses heavily distorted, down-tuned guitars, grinding overdrive bass, high-speed tempos, blast beats, and vocals which consist of incomprehensible growls, of high-pitched shrieks, extremely short songs, fast tempos, and social-political lyrics. Yeah, the shortest song in the world. They hold the Guinness Book, right? 1.8 seconds. You Suffer from the Scum record. Is this going to be, I mean, is this Boy George? I want to see the Boy George one, but I don't want to click on the thing. The following media potentially sensitive. Here we go. Is this Boy George's camera? He says, I got my camera out and I want to take some photos.
Attempting to erase the notion of somebody for living by their fucking biological code. I ask you, what the fuck is wrong with people?
Oh, so preach it, brother.
You know, I try not to be fucking nasty about people in general, but I will say this. If you think that is the way forward for a better world for everybody, you can go and fuck yourself.
So they're not going to play? There we go. And I love the way he gets around on stage. He's a very healthy guy, Barney Greenway. Where's Boy Georgie? Why are they standing around there in the front? They're standing around there. Let's get into something else. I thought they were going to show Boy George going, me bleeding blood, he is a-hurting. Well, this is just sad news to hear because KK Downing says he was not allowed to walk the red carpet at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We are still on the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's still got a lot of grievances, and we're here for you, KK. We're here for the whole band. But, he says that he didn't get to. He says it was all very sad that he didn't get to go down the carpet. That's kind of one of the parts that you look forward to, isn't it? If you're a celebrity or a star, it's walking that red carpet and having them snap them photos at you and you smiling and acting like you're slightly agitated and irritated by them talking to you, but every minute you're loving it. In a brand new interview with Marco Sarala of Chaos Sign, founding Judas Priest guitarist Kenneth, we don't call him that, KK Downing, was asked what it was like to reunite with his former bandmates for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. We know all this. Referencing former Priest drummer Les Binks, also, okay, we got to read it. He responded, well, I was kind of debating whether to go there or do it or not because of all the circumstances. Plus, it was a long way to go. Referencing former Priest drummer Les Binks, who also performed at the event, Downing continued, Priest's manager told us that we were guests of the band, me and Les. I'm going, fuck fuck off. If anything, I'm a guest of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but I'm there to accept my award in my own right. I'm not a guest of anybody. And then they were going to dictate the songs and what was going to be played. So I said, oh, fuck, should I bother doing this? You know what I mean? Can I really be bothered? And then people were saying, you've got to go. It'll never happen again. Obviously, in your time, you deserve this. And now, so I decided, okay, I'll go. But obviously, we were kept separated and not allowed to walk the red carpet together, which is all very sad. But that's the way that they wanted it. According to Downing, he had a pleasant exchange with his replacement. Okay, okay, let me, guys, am I turning to shit here? Let's go. This energy drink, where's the high performance? It's failed. According to Downing, he had a pleasant exchange with his replacement in Priest, Richie Faulkner, who wasn't being inducted into the Rock Hall, but took part in the Priest performance at the ceremony. Richie was great. Richie came into our dressing room. Richie was he was fine. Obviously, I am the real thing, aren't I? What can I say? What can I say? But no, Richie's great. We got on well. And Priest's current touring guitarist and producer Andy Sneap's great. He's an old friend. As for the other guys, I don't care less about them. If they'd just, what did he say? If they couldn't have just like at our age, just one time, just, you know what I mean? No. It was just forget about it, ... But it was not to be, so I can't help that. He's also pissed at, maybe they'll mention it in here, but Ian Hill. He's known him since kindergarten, and he didn't stick his, he didn't say, no, I demand KK come back to the band. But anyway, I went there, and yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it, really. I rented some equipment, and luckily I had a couple of brand new guitars over there that I'd never seen or played, so yeah, it was easy and fun. It was an experience, to be honest. According to KK, the whole event was a bit surreal, seeing as none of the other artists being inducted into the Rock Hall were even remotely close to metal. Even right up until the performance, I wasn't sure, Downing admitted. I kept saying to myself, am I doing the right thing here? Is this really heavy metal? I'm with a bunch of guys that fucking hate me. I'm looking at Ed Sheeran, and I'm looking at Dolly Parton. I'm thinking, fuck it. Am I in the right place? Is it all a dream, a bleeding batty dream inside my mind? I'm thinking, oh, what the hell? Just grab the old six-stringer and do it and get to the pub. There you go. How old of a guy is he? 60-something? He's still rocking it, going to the pub. And that's what I did. I went straight over to my favourite pub. Right after that. Where's this place, Rock and Roll Hall? Where's that? Milwaukee? I came off stage, put me clothes on because I was bleeding bloody naked up there. I had me old cock dangling down past me guitar. Went straight back to the hotel bar and I had me some beers and it was great. KK also confirmed that he did have a brief chat with Priest singer Rob Halford at the Rock Hall. Rob came over to me and I initially didn't want to speak to him, because he left the band 14 years ago and I was instrumental in reinstating him back in the band. Having him back in, Downing said, and then he tells me that I can't rejoin the bleeding bloody band. Boy, I tell you what, how does that work? Oh, I don't know how that works. According to KK, it's Priest's guitarist Glenn Dimpton and Priest's longtime manager Jane Andrews who make all the decisions for the band. And I hate to say it, but Rob is just, I really think that the only reason I spoke to Rob at the Rock Hall is because I think he's being controlled. Like a bleeding bloody marionette. That's the only reason I don't believe that Rob voted not to have me back in the band. I think he was forced to. That would have been a good time for Rob to tell you that, though, wouldn't it? They forced me to not put you in. Right there on stage at the thing. Psst, KK, I wanted you in. They wouldn't allow it. I think Rob would have voted me in the band. But it was their choice, and now Richie's off doing his own thing with his side project, Elegant Weapons and everything. So it's not looking great for him, really, is it? Ooh. Anything on the Ian Hill? I'd like to see Ian's name in here somewhere, because he did have a little beef with him, saying, you know, I've known him since kindergartens. And he wouldn't vote me in. But anyway, so there you have that. This is a sad state of affairs, this next little story we're going to get into here. Are you a Flotsam and Jetsam fan? I love me some Flotsam and Jetsam. I read this, I saw this headline, this tagline, this breaking news headline. Flotsam and Jetsam cancel U.S. tour due to poor ticket sales. What in the Sam hell is going on? How is it that Metallica can sell out the arenas, but a good band like Flotsam and Jetsam can't even get tickets sold to go to play at a 100-seater club or a 1,000-seater club? Let's find out. Let's get into it. I just keep picking at my nose and all sorts of weird shit. Still haven't knocked those drinks off, though. Flotsam and Jetsam cancel U.S. tour dates due to poor ticket sales. Long-running Arizona metalers Flotsam and Jetsam have canceled 10 shows in the eastern United States due to poor ticket sales. In an official statement, the band said, "We had a logistical nightmare, even trying to secure transportation and crew for this short run. There are so many great bands on the road right now that it's making touring very difficult in what is a very saturated market. We had an important crew member bail on the tour at the last minute for undisclosed reasons. But the final straw was finding out that the ticket sales were poor. We definitely don't want promoters to lose money booking our band. So we'll reschedule at a time that makes more sense for them. We apologize to the fans that were planning on coming to see us on these dates, and we hope to see you on tour soon. Support on the 10-day trek was scheduled to come from Generation Kill, Misfire, and Wolftooth. Those bands are pissed. They're bummed. Where were they going to play? They were going to play, Dingbats. They were going to play the Bog Social, Atlanta, Georgia, Hangar 1819. Oh, Jesus. Empire Underground, yeah. This past May, Flotsam and Jetsam was forced to cancel its previously announced European tour dates due to higher-than-expected cost associated with the post-pandemic touring. Flotsam and Jetsam have spent the last few months working on material for their 15th album. In June 2022, Flotsam and Jetsam frontman, great singer with a lovely voice, Eric A.K. Nut Knutson. Please tell me it's Knutson. I don't want it to be Knutson. K-N-U-T-S-O-N. Knutson. Stated about the band's plan for the next LP, "My guitar players from 2021's Blood in the Water, I think they wrote 40 songs and we only put 12 on the record. So we have a lot to choose from. Most of them will be taken apart, pieces stolen out of them, and stuff like that. But we have enough music to keep going for a long time. We're about halfway written with a new record," he stated. "We have a formula going on right now that's really working for us." No, it's not. "And we're going to probably stick to the same formula this time. The last 3 records have really done some good for us." Okay, so he's just talking about musically. Fire the manager or whatever, or get some logistics. All these bands are canceling and all that. There was another story that I forgot to put up too that I wanted to do on here. And it was about Skid Row. They've canceled their tour too. It's little Eric Gronwall. They're worried. They said the first and foremost thing is his health. Blood in the Water was once again mixed and mastered by Jacoby Hansen from the band UDO, Volbeat, Amaranth, and Powerwolf. We've done all of those bands on this channel. It's been down hills and you look at me. Up your eyes, acknowledge that I'm crazy. Who was that? Sang that song. It's been one week since you looked at me. It's been 37 years since Flotsam and Jetsam formed in Phoenix, Arizona, released its landmark debut, Doomsday for the Deceiver, the only album to ever receive a 6K rating from the influential British magazine Kerrang. I don't know what 6K means, but that's great. Bassist Jason Newsted would jump ship to Metallica while the band released No Place for Disgrace. That's the first record that I bought. In 1988, Quattro, 1992's Drift, 1995 High, 1997, and My God, 2001. All still rank extremely high in heavy metal circles. But it was the first part of this unofficial trilogy in 2016's self-titled Flotsam and Jetsam. Yeah. Followed by the crushing, that's the record I'm thinking of, successor, The End of Chaos, that a certain rejuvenation and reset was clearly felt. Yes, that shit they put out was great. Another story here that's going to blow your tits off is, we've already spoken about Rob Halford. Should we add Doro, Pesch to the mix? They are redoing Bonnie Tyler's epic tune, Total Eclipse of the Heart. Can you believe that? Let it sink into your mind for a minute. Look at this guy. This guy is out in the bushes, and he is just no pants on, no underpants on, and he is just standing there looking at you. Doro Pesch, Rob Halford, let's get into it. Doro Pesch and Rob Halford have recorded a cover of Total Eclipse of the Heart. It sounds really, really special. During an appearance on yesterday, Tuesday, September 12th episode of Sirius XM, fire it up, Trunk Nation with Eddie Junk in the trunk. German metal queen Doro Pesch revealed that her upcoming studio album, Conquerus, Forever Strong and Proud, that's one hell of a name, will include 2 separate duets with Judas Priest singer Rob Halford. The recently released cover of the Priest classic Living After Midnight, who cares? And a version of the 1983 global smash hit Total Eclipse of the Heart, written by Jim Steinman. Isn't Jim Steinman, get in the comments below and tell me, but isn't that the guy that wrote the fantastic Bat Out of Hell record with Meatloaf? Is that him? And originally performed by the Welsh singer Bonnie Tyler.
And the record has 20 songs on it. I think they all sound killer,
Doro said, as transcribed by Blabbermouth.
And it has 3 duets on it, and 2 duets with a favorite, with Rob Halford, a Judas Priest. I can't believe in my eyes. It's so awesome to me. I was big Priest fan, and it was very big tour in 1986, and Robert and I met, and last year in France at Hellfest. Oh, great festival. Then we were talking, hanging out, and then he says,
"Hey, let's do something together." So
we did 2 duets. And this one, first one, is Living After Midnight, which you probably see me sing at least 100 times when I pop out on stage at live concerts around the world to see Judas Priest live. And I come out and I sing this song every time because you know that I do that. And that was my choice because I loved singing it. It was always a feel-good song. And then Rob Halford said,
"I have the song I always wanted to do with you. It's a total eclipse of my bleeding bloody heart." And that came out so great. When you hear it, you can tell Rob loves the song, and I'm so happy. Even 2 duets, man. That's more than I could ask for. I'm a lucky baby, I tell you. Asked if Total Eclipse from the Heart will be a bonus track on the album since it didn't appear on the LP original track listing, Doro said,
Und it is on the record. Surprise, surprise. But it just got finished a couple of weeks ago. Actually, and I don't believe the record on the vinyl is already done. And then I got an email from, guess who? It was Rob Halford. He said,
Hey, what about the second song?
And I thought, oh man, that's too good to be true. And then we did the second song, and it just got done a couple of weeks ago. We will do a video for the song. Oh, please do a video for the song. And it will come out. My accent's really going all over the place. I'm traveling across the oceans, across the seas. The video and the single will come out the day the record will be released. So on October 27th of October. But it came out so awesome. Oh, it came out so awesome. And oh man, that was just the icing on the cake. I thought I was done with records. And Priest producer Andy Sneap, he worked on it. And my guys worked on it. And it was great teamwork. And Rob Halford sounds so great on it. It's like, wow, and it's definitely one of the absolute favorite songs of this album. And it sounds really, really, really special. You have to check it out. Don't take my word for it. But yeah, it's brand new. Just done. Mastering just got done. Just got done. What time is it? It just got done 1 hour ago. And uns videos are doing in a few weeks. We are doing them in a few weeks. Pressed by Eddie Trunk. Whether your version of Total Eclipse from the Heart is heavy, is it going to be a heavy version of that song? Und yes, yes. What's the word for yes in German? Und yes, yes, it's heavy. It's like, wow, it's very heavy. But it sounds great. I think it's killer version. I always get goosey bumpies. I always get the goosey bumpies when I hear it. And I think other people who heard it, they thought, wow, I can't believe my ears are hearing this. I think all of my dreams came true working with all of these great people, all of my heroes. She's very positive. That's one thing about Doro. All we are all we need. The heavy metal community. She's positive. What's she saying here? And Priest was my very first tour in Europe in 1986 when metal was so huge and it was such a great tour. So Rob and I finally did something together. Finally together. And we always stayed friends. So I think that makes this album even more special to me. And I think many fans will love it. Conqueress, Forever Strong and Proud, is described in a press release as the result of intense hard work that took the incomparable singer and songwriter back to the studio in Miami, New York, back to the studio in Miami, New York, and Hamburg, amongst others. So that's not even all the places that it took her. The album presents Doro at the height of her creative powers. That's why she's the Conqueress. She says, get out of my way. Let me sit down with this guitar, and I will come up with an album that you will shit all over your pants. You will shit your pants when you hear it. The past June, Doro released Time for Justice, the first single from Conqueress Forever Strong and Proud, along with a Mad Max style video. We didn't do that. We're over this. This might be a shorter episode there, guys, because I'm on the high energy thing on this drink is working, but the high performance part, I thought that was more brain related. Oh yeah. And that is damn fine purple nurple. I don't know what a purple nurple is, but when I go into the convenience store, 7-Eleven by my house, I asked the guy, you got any purple nurples? And he knows what I'm talking about. Because I buy them so often. I'm like, you got any purple nurples back there? But unless I won't say the name of the company unless they give me $8,000 or $800. And I'll have a drink of my sparkling water, but. And they haven't even spilled. This video here, it says, we're going to get into it, but it says here, watch Rob Zombie live. You know, anytime that happens with Blabbermouth, they say, watch 4K video of Rob Zombie's performance at 2023's Rocklahoma Festival. I got to do it. This is just the rule. The Pics from the Pit YouTube channel has uploaded 4K video of Robert F. Zombie, September 3rd, performance at the Rocklahoma Festival in Pryor, Oklahoma. Check out these clips below. This past May, Rob told Howie Mandel Does Stuff that he had started work on his next studio album. It's been a while since I made a record, and I was working on the music for the LP till about a week ago, and it's going good. Yeah, it's a long process. I don't want to get my Rob Zombie mixed up with my Dave Mustaine. I like making records a long period of time so that I can live with it. I like to live with it. Make it scramby eggs in the morning, you know. Sometimes you write something and it's new and you're all excited because it's new and the time goes by and you're like, it's just exciting because it's new. It's not really that good. But if you live with stuff for a while, you kind of get better sense of how strong it is. Yeah. Elaborating on how he goes about making albums, Rob says, usually it starts with just me. I almost did a little Davy Mustaine. Usually it just starts with me, just me and a producer coming up with ideas, mapping out rough ideas. And then the band will start. I've got this idea and this idea. I haven't stood in a room with a band and jammed on ideas since the early 90s. That's interesting. Because I just always found that to be really draining. Just hanging out and writing tunes with people in a room is draining. Some of your bestest friends, you've laughed, you've cried, you've made love to each other in some cases, you've, held their hair back while they're throwing up in the toilet. They're your friends, but they're draining. I like working with one guy behind the board and we formulate ideas and you piece it together, kind of like you would a movie. It's kind of similar as opposed to a bunch of guys jamming all day long. You're like, anyone got any ideas? Not really. But you're jamming with the wrong guys then. Because, usually when you jam with a bunch of people, you hate all their ideas, and they don't want to listen to your ideas either. Asked how close he is to completing the next album, Rob said, not close at all. We just have a ton of ideas, and I've got to take those ideas, whittle them down, start writing lyrics, and see if that makes sense. Hopefully, by next summer, it will be ready. Yeah. Rob's seventh studio album, The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy, was released in March 2021 via Nuclear Blast. The LP marked Rob's first new album in nearly 5 years, because he's always making them movies. He's making them spook movies. Have you ever seen them? The Halloweens or The Devil's Rejects, or he's always got his wife in them. She plays a major role in all those movies, and that's what makes them bad. Guys, I apologize for that. Sherry Moon Zombie is not a bad person. I shouldn't have struck at her, so venomously. But I'm sorry, it's just every time she pops up in a movie, I'm like, oh God, this is going to be a turd. No, I didn't say that out loud. Jeez. The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy was the third consecutive effort to feature Zombie and guitarist Jonathan John 55 Alive alongside bassist Peggy D and drummer Ginger Fish. That's old Ginger Fish from the Marilyn Manson days. Was Ginger Fish the one they used to just beat the hell out of and throw shit at the whole time? Was that Ginger Fish or was that somebody else? Last fall, John Five, sad to say, exited Rob's band to join Motley Crue as the replacement for the group's founding guitarist Mick Mars. John Five has since been replaced in Zombie's band by returning guitar player and original. This Mike Riggs is the dude that wrote those riffs. Remember how Rob Zombie was just sitting there and talking about how he likes to sit in a room with one man and write tunes? This is the dude that wrote all those delicious guitar riffs. And I don't believe that I'm making that up. Riggs had previously spent 6 years as a member of Rob Zombie, period. Riggs joined forces with Rob Zombie in the 90s and stayed with him into the 2000s, eventually leaving in 2004 when Rob Zombie was largely focused on films rather than music, to start a project of his own. Yeah, what was the name of that? Riggs' songwriting and crunchy guitars can be heard on Rob Zombie's Hellbilly Deluxe, American-made music to strip by the Sinister Urge, and the Past, Present, and Future records. Most recently, Riggs, what was the name of that band that he had? Scum of the Earth. More recently, Riggs had kept busy with his band Scum of the Earth. Named after a song from Sinister Urge, Scum of the Earth favors the sort of rhythmic industrial influence, mild, funky, hip-hop-minded alternative metal that Riggs honed during his initial Rob Zombie days. Let's watch him. There he is. He's got that spotlight on him. He says, "The lights go out, and it's on me." He's got so many screens going on, you don't know what to look at. Sounds good. I want to say I've heard this tune before. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm doing a remix. Yeah. Come on, oh yeah, come on, come on, come on. Come on, come on, come on, let ya now. So numb, yes. Back in the sun. Feel so numb, baby. Ooh, yeah. This guy is so nimble on his feet. We gotta do another deep dive into him, a video autopsy on him, because he is such a dancer on stage. He is like a Kevin Bacon of just jumping on things and spinning on things and stuff. How old's that guy? He's 50-something. And he's wearing the tight pants and the leather jackets and stuff, but he's just a dancer and an all-around talent. It is that time. The greatest part of the show, it's where we dive into your comments that you leave from the last time around, and I try and scratch my brain to figure out exactly what the hell we were talking about. Mike Buchanan coming in with the fall weather approaching, and indeed it is. And the month of October, oh boy. I have been turning towards movies that are bad, but we love them anyways. The horror edition, ... This week, I went with an 80s classic, Killer Clowns from Outer Space. I highly recommend watching this if you are into science fiction, horror, comedy movies. What was the thing with the popcorn that they did? I remember the cotton candy thing, but like the title says, killer clowns come from space and, well, proceed to eat the entire town. One cotton candy cocoon at a time. In space, no one can eat ice cream. In space, no one can eat ice cream. A must watch. He's giving it the must watch. Not going to say, still Mike Buchanan here, not going to say I'm a little disappointed about not having a Mega 100th episode extravaganza. I like the live version and having all of your opening theme songs rolled into one video. Man, if someone wants to do that, they're welcome to do that. At some point, I will get to where we're doing a live stream. Every week we'll just do a live stream, and it'll probably be longer than an hour. But I'm just not prepared for that yet. I feel like I need something, and I don't know what that is. But anyways, let's get into the episode, shall we? Our little Wolfie has grown up. Congratulations on the upcoming wedding. He's very happy. Mike Buchanan's very happy that Chubby Cheeks Van Halen is getting married. Adriana. And they're going to live happily ever after, I'm pretty sure. Proof positive that people have way too much money to buy anything. What's he going on? Freddie, R.I.P., was a master at writing songs. And if that piano could talk, Jesus, you gotta take some cotton swabs to the insides of those keys too. You don't know what kind of goops and goos are down in those, you know. If that piano could talk, it'd have a hell of a lot of stories to tell. And now, the Jive Talkin jokes of the week. As I get older, I remember all the people I lost along the way, ... Maybe a tour guide wasn't the best job for me. I got fired from my job at the keyboard factory. They said I wasn't putting in enough shifts. Oh, that's something. I used to work as a programmer for autocorrect. They fired me for no reason. What did the sushi say to the bee? What's up, bee? Oh, God. And finally, did you know that I haven't spoke to my wife in 3 years? Yeah, I didn't want to interrupt her. There you go. There's the jokes of the week from Mike Buchanan. He's getting a thumb. You might all get thumbs. Deep and hard for this episode. Kevin Ortega coming in here. On Wolfgang Van Halen. Congrats to him and his fiance. He's a cool dude. Yep. Valerie from One Day at a Time, and I went through a stage watching old TV shows. It still airs on Antenna TV in response to Miss Althea. Yep, I remember that episode. They were performing the Elton John and Kiki D song at an old folks home or something like that during a New Year's Eve party. Who's Kiki D? Oh, that's a... Is this a dog breaking my heart? I couldn't if I tried. Oh, honey, and I'm like... That's Kiki D that's singing that with him? Freddie Mercury. Kevin Ortega on Freddie Mercury Bohemian Rhapsody piano. I'm actually surprised the piano didn't sell for more. Did this money go to charity? Oh, it went to charity, because that's her middle name. Whatever that was. Laura Charity Windham or whatever. Kevin Ortega on John 5. He should have stayed with Rob Zombie. Why uproot yourself to go to a band that's washed up and don't play their own instruments? Stop playing for the screw and go back to Rob. I mean, he was with him for so long. I agree. I think he should have said, "Wow, Nicky, what a great offer." But you know, my bread has been buttered deeply by Rob, so I'm going to stay with him. Kiko, staying home with his kids. Remember Dave Mustaine, and he's not out on the road. Kiko with Megadeth. Good on him for it. Just hope Megadave didn't piss him off in some way for him to sit out the leg, or did he? ? I guess in time we will find out on a YouTube episode of people who don't get along with Dave Mustaine. Timu, that's the new guitar player, sounds familiar. Winter Sun is a melodic black metal band from Finland. Not bad, in my opinion. And I've seen some clips of Timu, and he's kicking some booty. He's doing great. Kevin Ortega, you read my statements perfectly in the last episode. You read my statements perfectly in the last episode. Thanks always. Cheers. Comments or compliments get you everywhere. There's the thumb. Miss Althea coming in here. The Dumbstruck Fool says she was asked what the lead-in line in her comment is all about. Well, okay, so someone was asking what the Dumbstruck Fool says thing. Well, it is a compliment to the title of the segment. Just spin the epic 1970s BG tune and listen for the verse, "There you go with your fancy lies, leaving me looking like a dumbstruck fool." So there. Hey, we need jackets. The Dumbstruck Fools Bowling League. Miss Althea on Wolfie Van Halen. All the best to him and his bride-to-be. Dan and I dated for 7 years. Long distance at that. Before tying the knot. And we have been together for a grand total of 35 years. So we are proof it can last. And yes, his mother Valerie was on One Day at a Time. I mean, I don't have Antenna TV, but I do have Tubi, and that's got Fantasy Island and Love Boat and everything on there. I should check Tubi and see if that's on there. Miss Althea on the Bohemian Rhapsody piano. I am honest. Oh, shit. I just realized something. I am honestly surprised Yoshiki didn't buy it. To any ex-Japan fans listening to this who are not familiar with the dude named Tatsuya, you must look him up post-haste. He does a hilarious impersonation of Yoshiki that had me laughing so hard I was in pain. I was going to do the story about Yoshiki's getting a, at the I think it's the Man's Chinese Theater or something like that, but he's getting a statue. If I remember, I saw the headline, and I was going to do that story, and then I goddamn didn't do it. I'll commit haraku as soon as I'm done here. Miss Althea on John 5. OMG, man. I think he may need some professional help to move past the bromance with Rob Zombie at this point. That story was exhausting. Miss Althea on Megadeth. I just could not get past the name Kiko. I immediately thought of singer Kiki D, and consequently, Don't Go Breaking My Heart. Her duet with Elton John got stuck in my head. And hey, back to the Valerie Bertinelli. Anyone remember an episode of One Day at a Time? Can you hear my guts rattling? One Day at a Time, where she and Mackenzie Phillips performed that song, Don't Go Breaking My Heart, with Valerie imitating Elton and Mackenzie imitating Kiki. Bob, okay, we're on to the next thing here. I'll have to see if I can hunt that down. One thing, too, was Valerie and Mackenzie didn't look like they came from the same father. One was cute, and the other one was like, huh? Why is she coming into the scene? Make her go back in the other room. Miss Althea on Bob Crane. That was the guy. She'll tell us here. Bob Crane was the lead actor who met with a questionable passing in 1978. To this day, the case is considered unsolved. That Bob Crane was the main star of Hogan's Heroes, which we talked about in the last episode. And they believe him to be murdered or something. He was into some kinky weirdness, wasn't he? Miss Althea, apologies to my bro Mike B for not keeping up with bad movies we love anyway on the past couple of episodes. Another tried and true. This will put me to sleep within 15 minutes masterpiece for me is 1960s Horrors of Spider Island. A troupe of female dancers, I'm watching it. A troupe of female dancers and their male manager find their way to a desert island following a plane crash. Let the movie title be your guide for what remains. Excellent. There you go. Good one. Well, you learn so much. When you listen to these episodes, you really walk away feeling smarter than you did before you showed up, right? Oscar's got 2 here. David Ellefson. Okay, let's see. David Ellefson plays guitar as well as bass. He is bass with other commitments. He is busy with other commitments, but wouldn't it be nice if Dave Cumstain... My heavens, Oscar. I don't think Dave would appreciate you saying that, quite frankly. Asked him to join the tour. I bet they would sell more tickets. If Dave Ellefson was on the tour, you think? I mean, I don't know, man. James Lamenso. He has my heart. That poor guy, he should have made it to the end. Him and ABBA should have made it to the end on The Amazing Race, but they lost their passports in Russia. And you have to, when you land on that mat in front of Phil Hogan, you have to have all of your money, all of your passports and everything, and they lost them. It was a sad, sad day there. Oscar says, Megadeth is playing the Plymouth Motor Speedway near my folks' home later this month. I was going to extend my stay a few days and ask a friend to go. However, I don't want to give one damn penny to Cumstain. Tell us how you really feel, Oscar. Okay. Wolfie Mammoth. He's got that in the quote marks. Wolfie Mammoth. And he's got like a fun little... well, like a little mammoth or an elephant emoticon right here. Wolfie Mammoth found a gal who can make a hearty bowl of pasta and meatballs. Good for him. His fiancée had to make a serve Valerie the entree for approval. His fiancée had to make and serve Valerie the entree for approval. Soon to be Miss Mammoth used her great-grandma's recipe for from southern Italy. Man, I really butchered that. I apologize, Oscar. But guess what? You're getting 2 thumbs here, buddy. 2 hearts and 2 thumbs. And then our pal Steve Bernard coming in with the last one here. John 5 is the kind of guy who breaks up with his girlfriend and then wonders why she doesn't want to hang out anymore. He's probably right about that. He's probably right about that. All right, let's get out. We're going to let it fly fancy free. No song banks. This thing shuts off on its own, and then I gotta freaking mess with it, and I never do a good job. Here we go. Where's that volume at? Come on, baby. Baby, yeah. Started to get that, what is it? Salt and pepper? Jive with me, baby, jive for free, baby, heavy metal motherfucking news for free, baby. White lies, vision, dreams are coming to my mind. Jive, 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 jive. Holy shit, let's jive.